Hello, everyone. It is the King of Anime podcast. I'm joined with my co-host, Everything Animated. Everything.
Hey, hey, everybody, and how are you doing today?
Good afternoon to everybody that's been anticipating the podcast. Apologies for doing this a little late, both in time and day. But yeah, King of Anime podcast. Today we'll have a little more to talk about because we'll also be covering the latest episodes of Oshi No Ko as well as the Konosuba Megumin spinoff. So if you have not watched those episodes, be prepared for us to talk about those. But everything else will be business as usual as far as the episodes we cover. So before we start anything, yeah, how's your week been?
Oh man, it's been a hectic week. Just going in and out of the office all week. After moving to a new house a little over a week ago, and yeah, I'm just tired. I can't wait for this week to be over.
How have you been as far as like settling into the house? Are you like satisfied with everything?
I think so. I mean, there's still some things to unpack slowly but surely. You know, kind of the whole I work and then I go to sleep and then I'm like, oh, there's still more boxes. Got to unpack those. It's just, it is what it is. But for the most part, I'd say I'm pretty happy overall.
I'm glad to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it takes a little while to settle in with the new environment and everything. I still getting accustomed to living where I am now, but I think it didn't really hit me until probably the beginning of this week where I felt pretty satisfied with the move, because at first I looked at it kind of as a downgrade, because I mean it is a downgrade in size for sure, but the place where I'm at now is close to my job, so it's like a 10-minute drive to my
good.
job. Yeah, which cuts down on cost significantly. It's in an area where like there's a lot of things going on as far as like places I like to go to. So I think overall it's a good change in the long run, but I didn't see it short term. So been a pretty like I said, good environment change.
Yeah. Did you run into the, how whenever you're in a new situation, in a new environment, you have a hard time sleeping at night sometimes because you're just like, oh, this is my new house. This is everything I gotta get used to now.
See, I have a problem sleeping at night in general, just because I've always been a night owl. So
that's true.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I have any issues with that. When I first moved, I got my bed set up immediately. Like that was one of the first things I actually unpacked and everything, because I was so tired that day that I just had to. I didn't want to sleep on the floor, so I said, "This is the first thing I'm doing because I need to rest." So
no, I understand.
Yeah, like the first day I moved, I actually like slept pretty comfortably, so I didn't have any issues as far as that. But living in apartments, having people that live above me, having to adjust to like their noise because there's like kids that live up there, so you know how it would be in that type of situation.
Yeah, I used to have a freaking neighbor that for some reason would run their dog, and they lived above us.
Oh, God.
And all we would hear is do, 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 do,
oh
do,
my God.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And it's one of those things where it's like, maybe if I was at work, maybe if it's during the day, nobody's at home, that'd be fine. This was 7, 8 o'clock at night. Yeah. And when you're just getting ready to lay down and go to bed, and I just hear do 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 do. Yeah, we would get into pissing contests because I remember, I'd bring the old broom and just hit it up at the ceiling and everything.
Oh, the guy. So you had like a war, like a little mini war.
It lasted for maybe a couple weeks. I think, when you let the property manager know, they kind of they kind of stopped. But I just remember doing that, and then they actually like right back. They went. I'm like, oh hell no.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that was probably the worst place I ever lived. But other than that, every other place has been good. You know, I had a neighbor's house get kicked. Their door got kicked down because the police busted it down and raided it.
Jesus Christ! Were they making meth in there?
That was my first apartment. I remember because it was like 3 a.m, and I just, you know how when you're kind of awake and you're kind of asleep,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what I heard police department. If you don't open the door, we're gonna kick it down.
Jesus.
And then I heard boom, boom, and then on the third, boom, get on down. And I literally just jolted up, thinking, "Oh my god, I'm dead." But no, it was the neighbor, and I was literally like, my heart was pumping, and I just look out the little peephole and everything, and I just see like a couple, you know, a man and a woman just getting arrested, and I have no idea what it was. I don't even know if it had to do with meth or anything. I just know that it was kind of awkward seeing them the 2 weeks afterward, and then I think they finally got kicked out. But yeah, that's a little EA story of where I used to live and places where I had bad neighbors.
You were like an extra in somebody's like big drama thriller movie. I don't know what they did exactly, but
me neither. But other than that, never had any real bad neighbors. Just typical, you know, dogs barking. You know, just the basic stuff that you got to get used to by living in an apartment. But other than that, nothing super crazy.
Yeah. And another plus I never really looked at is that whenever like appliances break down, as far as like oven or refrigerator, washer and dryer, you just call them and get that stuff fixed, because I had a whole bunch of breakdowns in my other house when it came to appliances. And yeah, stressful times, but I don't think I had to look I don't have to look forward to that anymore or backward to it anymore. But yeah.
Yeah.
QRW6, what is good? What up, KOA? Glad to hear from y'all. Been watching my home hero. It has a little of Breaking Bad feels, but it's highly underrated in my opinion. Why is this heart? I can't
see that heart. It says, in my opinion, due to this season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I see that too. I don't know why it's there. Oh, click on it. It basically just does a little heart. And what is this?
Yeah, I guess it's like reactions for us. It probably shows up for us because we're moderators, so QRW6 might be able to see it as well. But yeah, I've heard about My Home Hero, not the anime, the manga, because a couple of people on my server read it, and I was going to also watch it initially, but then I heard whispers about the anime and how it was disappointing in comparison to the manga, so I said, let me just read it. I like to read more than I like to watch things, just for speed reasons. Usually I like anime more than manga, but when it comes to, I could definitely read way faster than I can watch something. So that's something I'll probably read eventually. But glad that you're enjoying it. What are some other anime y'all have been watching besides the shows that we're covering? Let us know how you feel about those. I've been hearing a lot about that. Hell's Paradise. What was Skip and Loafer? I've been hearing a lot about. People have been loving that anime. That's something I'll probably Skip and Loafer.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that too. It's a little slice of life one.
Yeah, this romance one. That's something I'll definitely watch after the season ends, but it's too much this season. But yeah, today we have no viewer questions, so we're gonna pretty much jump right into it. But I guess I'll explain it. Yeah, you guys didn't want to know anything. I mean, you guys can still ask us questions in the live chat, and we'll get to those. But no viewer questions this time around, so we're just going to jump right into things. But before we do anything, let's explain the format of KOA, even though it won't technically follow the format the rest of the way.
Not this season anyway. Yeah. Maybe next season.
So if you're unfamiliar with KOA, what we do is that we cover anime from the respective season, this season being the spring season. We pick a couple of shows, we lock a couple of shows. The lock shows don't follow the next thing I'm going to say, which is with certain shows, we killer past them every usually 3 episodes. I would say like 25% of a show will take it to the table, killer pass, and that will determine whether or not we'll continue talking about that said show. We did not copy this format for anybody else. Anybody else that claims this format, they copied us. Okay.
What's that the NFL says? Any other no. It's not the NFL. What am I thinking? Oh no, it's movies where it's like anything else is fictitious or parody or coincidental or something. Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Anybody that says that, oh, we started this, we could prove it. No, we had the idea first. We probably floated around to those guys, even if we didn't have like video evidence of it. So we started this. That's all you need to know. King of Anime Podcast. That's basically how things work. And then we usually pick one show for Nakama Club to talk about that isn't from the season, but something that we want to talk about on a podcast with the boys. That show ended up being Fate Zero, but we're not talking about that since one of the party members isn't here right now. So that's how things work. But the first show to talk about is Oshi No Ko, episodes 8 through 9. So, how did you feel about these episodes, in totality?
I mean, it's pretty much what I've expected of this series so far. It talks very well about the industry itself. You know, whether it be about Hollywood, TV shows, online, they do that part really well. Mm-hmm. We have now entered into what I like to call the harem phase.
Yeah.
It's become that, especially with Kana and how she's super jelly now. But that whole okay, I guess I'm getting a little ahead of myself. In the previous episode, Akane and Aqua, they had a quote-unquote kiss on the reality TV show, and now they're quote-unquote going steady. And you know how Hollywood is. Everything's fake, so it's just all for show anyway. But, you know, try telling that to Kana. And also, I don't think she knows either, so she's a jealous type. And They certainly like to allude to all of those, I guess, innuendos with the whole. First of all they were doing was playing baseball. By the way, and
that's what you're talking about. Yeah,
and if you were to look first. At that, right. If you were to look at that scene out of context, you would have thought that they had just had some of the greatest sex in the world, and all they did was just throw a baseball around. It's just like, Jesus Christ, come on. I guess at the end of episode 8 too, we get Memcho.
Mem. She's such a mean character. That's a meme ass name. Mem.
Really,
and then it's really in all caps. It's like stylized in all caps.
Yeah.
This character is so weird. I don't know if you're gonna talk about like everything with Mem, but oh my god, this episode was not too flattering to her character. I'll tell you what.
But yeah, it was just like at the end of that episode, they're like, "Hey, you want to join our idol group?" And she's just like, "Yeah, I'll be honored." And I don't know, does that also mean that she likes Aqua? I don't know. It just kind of turned into a weird harem thing at the end.
I don't think they're going that route with her. not the romance route with her. I definitely think they're doing it with Akane and Kana. I definitely believe that that's probably going to be a staple in the show. I've already said before, I don't really like the romance in this show. I guess I just didn't really like how it developed with either of those characters. I mean, I guess it makes a little more sense with Akane, but with Kana, it just kind of happened out of nowhere. But then again, these are high schoolers, so I don't really have an issue with them falling in love with each other based just on attraction. Because from what the show tells us, canonically, all of these are attractive characters. So them falling in love because of that, yeah, it makes sense. It makes enough sense. It doesn't really move me.
And I guess that's something we forgot to mention too. Akane really got into the Ai character in episode 8, where she just full on went for the jugular, so to speak. And Aqua was just like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah. He was struggling to vocalize his feelings, and seeing her act like that, because he acknowledged that her acting was very good, was giving him feelings of his mother. But I think he came to terms with he doesn't love Akane. He likes he's kind of infatuated with the ghost of Ai that lives in Akane. So he came to terms with that. Yeah, it is. This whole thing is weird when you think that this was like a 30-year-old doctor in his past life, and now he's a high schooler. But I honestly don't try to think about that too much, because it makes things very, very odd. But even that was addressed to some degree too, because I think he said something to the effect that his past life is kind of being overwritten by his current life as a high schooler, which makes sense, because it's not as if he was like a 40-year-old doctor and he got his sekai and he just was in a different body. It was kind of like the Rudiest situation, to where he was reborn completely from a baby to now teenage years. So he's lived a full life as a teenager. So I not that this has happened to me, but I imagine if this happened to you, you would kind of slowly forget about your old past life. Not that you wouldn't carry some of that knowledge and I guess some of that maturity, but
right.
Yeah, you would things would be different. It's a whole like restart on life. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, a lot to unpack these couple episodes. But yeah, episode 8 was essentially, I love you, Aqua. I love you. I love you. I love you.
I love you. Ooh. Ebony eyes, sparkly eyes.
That essentially set up, I guess, like the producer meeting up with Aqua saying, yeah, you did a little something for me. Now I'm going to give you some information about Ai and who she possibly fell in love with.
Yeah. So he gives us information on that, so that kind of progresses the plot as far as his whole revenge thing. So now he has another aspect to cover. He has like a new goal, and also this gives more relevance to Akane in the plot, because she also works for this theater agency or whatever company. So she's going to have a role to play as far as the story moving forward. And I guess that'll be the next place that we go for him to uncover more with his mom's past, to see who the daddy is, because he's Maury Popovich.
Yeah, he is. Freaking. What was I gonna say? When it comes, that one scene that I thought was just absolutely hilarious was in the most recent episode that came out today. Was Aqua was just sitting on a bench reading manga, and all these girls were just swooning and just like going, "Oh my god, he's so cute," and all that. Could you imagine if you're just minding your own business and all you hear is just the heavy breathing of all of these women behind you and just under their breath going, "He's so dreamy. Oh my god." I don't know how I'd feel about that. I'd probably turn around and go, "Could you ladies like leave me alone or something cuz I'm trying to read and it's hard to read when all I hear is he's so cute."
I mean, it probably would feel good just for the ego boost for that one time, but if it happened like every time, then yeah, it'll probably get annoying.
Right. One time would be like it. You would be like, "Oh, I've never gotten this kind of attention before. It's kind of flattering."
Yeah.
But then, ladies, it's been a week. Don't you like have lives?
Yeah, there are other boys at the school.
And also, aren't they all going to the school to be actors too? Don't they have acting to do?
You would think that they wouldn't be that infatuated with him, given that everybody here is like talented in some way. It's like a performing arts high school.
They know the business and everything.
Yeah. So, but I guess it's also just the whole like novelty thing when it comes to Aqua, because they've all watched that show, and it's kind of like everybody likes what's trending. So because he's like right in front of your face, and like I said, everybody has watched it, everybody's talking about it. It might just be one of those things that because he's popular because of the show, now everybody sees him as desirable. Because I mean, he's been here before and he's never got that attention. So the attention comes from him being on that show and it being as popular, because it blew up. I think the show is called like Live Now or something like that. But, yeah.
Love Eye Candy Deluxe Season 2. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kiora W6 says, I've been watching, what is that? Magic and Muscle. Oh, that's clever.
Yeah. People were talking about that series in my server as well, the manga. So I've known of this before the anime came out, never watched or read it. But from what I know about, it's kind of, so people call it like this cross between Mob Psycho and One Punch Man, as far as like the main character. He like trains instead of using magic or whatnot. I'm probably explaining this very bad because again, I don't know the synopsis, I don't know the characters, but that's what I've been told about the show. Like he works out instead of like using magic and stuff.
Huh. Interesting. Let me see. Ghost Rookie, excuse me, says Aqua kind of just does his own thing and kind of feels. Oh my god, I can't read today. Kana has feelings toward him, but doesn't say anything. Kana just comes off as annoying to me while I was reading and watching the episode.
And then look at what Light said after that.
Oh, of course. Talk about how great Kana is.
So we're all to a great start. I'll say the Kana starts for me kind of dropped with this episode because I don't like low confidence characters. That's not to say that this makes her a bad character, because she can definitely grow from this. But with the latest episode, a lot of it was, as EA alluded to, her jealousy of Akane because of the relationship between her and Aqua. And I think because of that, she was gloomy throughout the rest of the episode. She dismissed being a center because she talked about, I'm not that great at singing, or I don't really garner much attention, and
has a music video of where she sings. It's like, I'm not that good of a singer, girl.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they play her song, and she's great, and I guess it's a whole thing because a lot of this series is just critiques on the industry and what goes on in it. So because like with every character, it's kind of like that. So with her, I guess she's one of those artists that has a lot of talent, but never got that breakout like other people should. Because there are a lot of talented artists that are underground and they never blow up for whatever reason, because a lot of it is connections, who rather than what you can do. Right. And some of it is timing too.
sometimes the people that are like mainstream and are super successful, you're just like, how did they ever get popular in the first place? They're horrible, you
Yeah.
know.
So I think her character is kind of a critique on that, as someone who is this talented in terms of her acting, in terms of her singing, and all this other stuff that comes with her bag, but she's never got the break like other people. She doesn't have a lot of subscribers or anything going for her, so that kind of killed her confidence. So, but like I said, that doesn't make her a bad character. It was just kind of annoying, like you said, her saying like, I'm not good at singing, and then she's like, great. She had like a 97 in the karaoke score, so she's better than Aqua, or better than Ruby and Meme.
Yeah, Meme Cho. But yeah, they're I love how the two that are most interested in Idol and kind of know the ins and outs and both wanted to be the centerpiece pale in comparison when it comes to Kana, at least when it comes to singing anyway.
I like the dynamics of this group because I think they all bring something interesting to the table. So with Kana, she brings a certain level of expertise when it comes to multiple facets in the industry. And I also think because of her personality, which is very cynical and pessimistic, I actually think sometimes that's for the good of the group, because the other two are a little too happy-go-lucky and they might not look at things in a realistic manner. So, conversely, I think Ruby is like a foil to her, or like the opposite of her, because she's always happy and optimistic and she's looking on the bright side of things, which you need that for an idol group. I definitely think in terms of her being the face of the group, Ruby fits that description. I mean, she has the eyes, she has the energy for sure. So I think she fits the center just from image perspective. But yeah, she has the whole thing to where she kind of moves the motor in terms of being the soul of the group. And Meme brings the I guess business aspect of it when it comes to knowing what to do for what's trending, and she has an outlook on things because of how popular she is on TikTok and YouTube. So
which, by the way, she lied about her age.
Oh, that's I was trying to say that, but yeah, let's talk about that. No, it's all good. So she talked about fudging her age, and immediately when she said that, my first thought, I said, don't let her be like 20. I think I called her age in my mind at first, because I think I was like, no, because okay, I thought I called it at first, but yeah, in my mind I said, don't let her be like 24 or something, because I forgot her name, but Ruby's mom calls her out. She's like, despite your cheekbones, blah 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 blah, you're older than you look. And then my first thought was like, is she like 24? And they slowly count up her age. I'm like, oh no. Oh no.
I was thinking like 30 or 40. I'm like, please don't make her be that old.
Oh, if she was that old, then my God. And it's not because she's an idol that I was worried about that. It's because she was previously on a dating show with high school kids. So this makes that whole thing in retrospect very, very weird. And that's putting it lightly, because a 25-year-old, and she didn't kiss anybody, I don't believe, but still, it's very weird for a 25-year-old to be on a dating show with 16, 17, 18-year-olds. So
she did give a handy to somebody in the parking lot.
Oh my God. She should be in jail. Put her in jail.
It was one of the producers. That was the twist. That's how she got on the show.
My God. Meme, what are you doing?
Nah, I kid, of course. But yeah, I mean, if Ruby's mom, aka the manager, was able to see that. I wonder how many other people online can see through that
Mm,
and like think that she's like older than what she is.
I don't know. I feel like she would have a perspective on that just because maybe she's also done the same thing. Because you know the whole trope of like, I guess like the older ladies lying about their age because they feel embarrassed about it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she would probably fit in that type of category, especially knowing how her character was before, where she was very materialistic and vain. So I could imagine that her age is something that she's sensitive about herself. So maybe that's why she's able to see through it. But I don't know if I feel like the general public wouldn't see through it because it's one of those things that if you look at her wiki, I'm sure it corresponds with the age that she set in place, which I think she said she would. I think she's parading around as an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
So the wiki probably reflects that because at the end of the day, it's not as if they're going to get your birth certificate to confirm those things. They're getting that information from her, I would assume, or parents
Right.
or whomever. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, that's that's pretty crazy when you think about it. I just love how she even said it too. She's just like, I turned 25 this year, teehee, and then like hits herself in the head. The whole dope,
Whoops.
cute.
Whoopsie. But yeah, we talked about the critiques of the industry. This for sure is another thing that goes on in the industry, lying about your age.
Oh my gosh. I mean, how many people have been playing high schoolers their whole life?
Yeah.
I swear, like that's all. Like they become typecasted at some point. It's like you're gonna like. There's some actors that's like, who are you trying to kid? You ain't no high schooler. You're a 30-year-old man. You got 5 o'clock shadow going.
I'll never forget learning that the one guy who played Hannah Montana's sister in Hannah Montana was 30 on the set when they were filming it. Yeah, I never knew that, and when I found that out, I was like, "What?" He was playing as like a high schooler the entire time. He was like 30.
That is insane. I mean, I never watched Hannah Montana because that was a little after my time, but I knew of it, and that's crazy though because I've seen those shows, Dawson's Creek, all these other shows where they're supposed to be. Let's see, that 70s show. I feel like they were supposed to be in high school, but then at the end of the day, they ended up being like in their 30s. It's like, yeah, okay,
yeah,
whatever you say.
Yeah. So, again, that's another critique of the industry. With Meme. So that learning that she's 25 was weird, but I like what they did with her as far as her being this character that didn't want the short window of being an idol affect her pursuit of it, because she was someone that was taking care of her family and taking care of her mom, so she never got to chase her ambition. So she's having a quote unquote late start to this whole gig, but her mom pushed her to keep chasing her dreams no matter what. So that's why she lied about her age and everything. So her character, I like just the concept of her, but it's weird, but hey, it's cool.
Yeah. And usually with those characters and people that lie about their age like that, they age really fast when they're supposed to be a certain age, and it's like, why do you look like you're in your 40s? Aren't you supposed to be 25? Yeah, and then that's gonna happen, and then all of a sudden, that's how these things come out too. It's like, I lied about my age, and then that could cause a whole controversy. So the wheels are set in motion when it comes to that.
Yeah. QRW6 said idol culture can be weird at times because teens do become the preference in that genre. Yeah,
that's true.
For sure. We talked about it at the start of the show. You know, being an idol. What this show does is it kind of deconstructs that positive image of idols, because idol, and I've seen this before, but in a lot of shows, think of Love Live or what's that one, Idol Master, shows like that kind of like glamorize being the idol. It's all fun and cute and stuff like that, but thinking about it in a realistic manner, it's a lot of people that have to change their whole livelihood as far as dating, as far as saying the right thing at the right time, because they got to sell this image to the fans. And if the fans are disappointed even in the slightest, it wrecks their entire career. So the margin of error for being an idol is very small, and you always have to put up this face. So I've always appreciated Oshi No Ko for that. Their entire critiques of the industry. It's weird that I don't like this show as much as everybody else because of how much I like that aspect of it. I guess like the other parts aren't doing it enough for me, but I do think this is a very important show. And yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I like what they're doing with it.
Yeah, same. I agree that this show definitely does more to kind of like draw back the curtain and you see everything that happens behind the scenes versus, I guess the characters of the show. Because to be honest, the characters of the show are just okay to mid.
That's probably what it is for me as well. Well, I think I think the characters are all. I would
terrible.
I would raise the bar and say I would say all right to good, because I don't have a favorite character in the series, and that's probably what's holding me back from liking it as much as everybody else. I feel like if I had this character that I loved, and anytime they were on screen, I was happy, I would probably have a way bigger enjoyment of it. But so far, I haven't found that character for me. I think the characters are fine. I think Aqua's cool. I think Ruby's cute. Kana's cool. I need to see more from Akane before I have a real opinion on her. Meme, funny. I guess my favorite character would be the mom. I don't know.
The mom
Yeah.
that C wanted to hook up with through I.
Oh my god, don't remind me.
That was the funniest shit. It's like, hold on. All I'm saying is, I'll get with I, and then I'll get closer to someone else.
Yeah, I don't know that guy. I don't know that guy you speak of. He may be deceased below my name, maybe. But is there anything else to talk about? We kind of covered Aqua's revenge plot progressing, Kana and her insecurities. She'll probably, I'll speculate. She'll probably end up being the center because of her high score in the karaoke thing, and they'll probably try to encourage her to have more confidence, because I imagine that's going to play into the whole romance love triangle thing that goes with Akane, Ruby, and herself. Because if she gains confidence, becomes the center, she's probably going to have confidence to actually try and put her hat in the ring when it comes to this romance thing, because she has feelings for Aqua, obviously, but she kind of just goes with the flow. Like, as much as I don't really like the thinking of this, when Akane wanted to pursue Aqua or whatever, she asked him what kind of girl she likes. She changed herself to fit that image. Not saying that's what you should do, not saying that's a good thing, but she tried something. With Kana, she has feelings for Aqua and doesn't really do anything about it. She just sits back and watches.
Yeah, she just goes, and then cries in the corner when things don't go her way. And it's like, well, what did you expect?
Yeah. So I expect if she were to gain confidence in being a center and all of this, Meme and Ruby give her a pep talk, maybe Aqua gives her a pep talk, she'll probably also try to pursue a relationship with Aqua a little more aggressively instead of just sitting on the sidelines. I don't look forward to that because, like I said, I don't really like the romance aspect of the show. Everything else, though, hits on high cylinders for me. So, yeah. I guess it is what it is.
Exactly. We got like what, 2 more episodes left on this series?
I think so. Yeah, it's 11 episodes. I think so.
It's 11 episodes. So we got next episode's probably gonna be um just them practicing their love idol stuff, and then the last episode has to go out on a banger. So I definitely believe it's gonna be like maybe we meet who the father is. Now,
Really?
wouldn't that be something to get people hyped for next season?
Well,
where you actually see who the father is, and then you have to wait 2 years until the next season.
If they do show the father, I feel like they would have to do it to where Aqua doesn't know, because I feel like that's such a big thing to uncover for the last episode. If I were to like speculate on what the last episode might be, I would believe it would be a performance from what is their idol name? B Komachi.
B Komachi.
Yeah, I would expect to be like a big performance for them to kind of end things off, and maybe Aqua does go to the theater group. If they do show him, I feel like it would be one of those things where it's going to be like a subtle meeting where you don't know, or you know it's a dramatic irony where you know it's him, but Aqua doesn't know it's him.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we did that quick, I would be very shocked.
Yeah, and Ghost Rookie brings up a point. Kana literally joined the auto group because of Aqua, which, that says it right there about her confidence.
Mm. He also goes on to say, like, they could have they could have depicted Kana as a character who wants to explore a different career path and likes Aqua along the way, but she signed the contract just because Aqua asked her to do it. Yeah, that was something that I also didn't really like. That was my rocky start with Kana, because she just came off as like love struck maiden, but she had a lot of good qualities to her to where I didn't hate her. So normally a character like that I wouldn't like immediately, when they're just kind of the character that's fawning over another character and that's kind of all there is to her. But she had, like I said, she had other things going for her, so I my attention was kept. So I just need more beyond that whole thing of Aqua. So seeing what I can get from this idol group, but I think that's about it.
Yeah,
this.
I'm done with it.
So how about this, EA? So we're not going to kill or pass a show, but let's do hypotheticals. Would you have killed or passed at this point?
Okay,
I'm just curious. Yeah.
I don't think I would have, to be honest. I mean, I kind of said this at the beginning, where the first episode was so good and was so hyped up and was so just everybody was talking about it, that everything else that came afterward was never going to live up to the hype. But when it comes to the message behind all the other episodes, like suicide, online bullying, stuff behind the scenes, what it takes to become an actor and all that other stuff, that's the stuff that keeps me staying on.
Yeah.
Like I think if that stuff wasn't involved and it was just like, if this anime was nothing more than just a basic love rom-com, harem thing, I probably would have killed it. But because I forget what episode it was, but the one where Akane was bullied and was almost gonna, kill herself.
I think that was episode 7 or 6, I believe.
Okay. That was the one that really had me hooked, and I said, okay, I see what this show's trying to do. And it's basically kind of like poking at the whole industry as a whole, and kind of the whole, not the bright side, but the dark side of fame. And I just find that to be very interesting to me. So yeah, I would have passed it.
Yeah. Likewise, I think I also would have passed it for some of the reasons that you stated. I think the unearthing a lot of what goes on in different industries, music, film industry, all these different things, even like a little bit of animation, because we remember we got the mangaka who saw her stuff get a adaptation live film.
Yep.
So even that was kind of interesting. So of course, since this is coming from a mangaka, I'm sure he's well informed about some of this stuff. So it's cool to get his take on all of this. So I think for that alone, I'll always be interested in the show. But some of the other aspects of it, not that invested in it, but it's fine.
Yeah, I definitely don't hate it, but I wouldn't say that I'm as over the moon like some people are. Like I'll see in some community posts and people's timelines or whatever, where all they do is post about this show, and it's like, okay, I'm not that like hype about it.
But on to the next show. Next show we have Megumin, the anime, episodes 10 through 11. Yeah, how did you feel about these episodes? For me, it kind of blended in with each other.
They really did. I feel like that's what happened last time too. This was Konosuba fan service, and I'm not talking about nasty, not nasty, but like the little
boobs,
fans of sexuality and all that other stuff. No, it's for the fans that love Konosuba, and you get to see, oh look, there's Aqua. Oh look, there's Kazuma. There's Darkness. There's Wiz. There's all these characters that we knew from the show. They were all in the background while Megumin was front and center.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like these last couple episodes were nothing but that, and just Megumin and Union trying to make ends meet and just get by. Like, I literally think that's all that these episodes were.
Yeah, it had like this weird like Ed and Eddie plot with Megumin and Union as far as like just trying to scrape money to keep surviving as adventurers.
I mean that if they were Ed and Eddie plot.
I mean, yeah, because Megumin would be she would be Eddie, and Union would be just Ed. So I guess they needed
D, because she kind of is the voice of reason.
Sometimes, but then also times she's just a follower. I guess true. she's a little blend of both, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do think they got a little obnoxious with the cameos from everybody else, because it got to a point where I'm like, all right, I see what you guys are going for, but I get it. I get Kazuma and Aqua in the background, because they had, between these two episodes, those two had maybe like 5 different appearances in the background. I'm like, why are they doing this so much? I could understand like once or twice, because I thought it was like very creative the way they did it. Episode 7, I believe, when Megumin is fighting Big Boo Demon Girl, and Aqua and Kazuma Isekai there. I thought that was so creative. And it's cool because we don't get to see them. That makes you harp on your memory of how they got there in the first place. Because I forgot, and you were the one who were like, "Oh yeah, that was probably them like actually going to the world the first time." And I went, so that's pretty cool. And it's also cool just because of how detached Megumin is from that. She wouldn't know anything about that. But I think in the recent cameos, they're a little too close to Megumin for it to have like an impact, and they do it too frequently. Because then I'm thinking in my mind, okay, Megumin has seen them on this many occasions, and she doesn't really have any like memory. Like, I understand that they're random people to her right now, but she's seen them quite a few different times and heard about Aqua. So it just makes things a little weird. And like you said, it's just it feels like fan service. And is Hollows in the chat, is Ben dead? He's dead to us. Yes.
Yeah, there was something that happened. There was an accident, and Hollow, I'm so glad that you're here. Can you explain this to me?
God, you're so hot. Step on me.
Is that the first time he heard that? I think that's the first time he heard that. I think you gotta play it again. I don't think he heard it, EA.
All right, let's hear it.
God, you're so hot. Step on me.
Yeah, no.
Oh man.
Could you also explain this, Hollow?
I love Hutao and Megumin.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to explain. Let's Megumin.
And Hutao.
Huh? It's out of context. That's AI. I never said that.
Oh,
man.
But thank you for stopping by, Hollow. I mean, you stopped by when Ben up and died. So I mean, hey, at least you showed up.
Yeah,
I appreciate you.
You could pay your respects and whatnot. But rest in peace to Benny Boy.
Yeah, throw a little bit of sand, or what's it called? Oh, just do the water and just throw it on the tombstone or whatever, like do in Japan.
I will be lurking and listening and still a Ben's channel. Feel free to. We got snacks too. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Animal graham crackers, all of that. But as far as like what actually happened in this episode, so they kind of just did the thing of Megumin feeling insecure about her powers again because because she didn't put her all. Oh, Ellie's here too.
Yeah, we got Ellie in the chat now too.
Woo! Ben's dead. It sounds like he's been waiting for that moment for a minute. Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, Hollow, that's right. I forgot to mention. Can I have my soul back, please?
Ooh, it's uncomfortable. I don't think he
awkward. I think he left.
Yeah, I don't think he want to give that. I don't think he want to give that back.
Yeah, not after what I pushed.
He may have sold it already. I think I've heard like some whispers of him selling that on Craigslist.
Is that right?
I mean, they sell everything on Craigslist. I wouldn't be surprised if you could sell a soul there.
That's true. I have seen some things on Craigslist.
My dad used to go on Craigslist all the time and buy random stuff and then like resell it, fix it up and resell it.
My goodness.
Craigslist, creepy place. I don't know if it still exists because I think now my dad goes to like this Facebook marketplace.
Yeah, that's what it's called. It's like a lot better, I think, to be honest. It's not as sketchy. Well, I guess it could be, but I don't think it's as sketchy as Craigslist. I mean, I've heard stories.
Yeah. I mean, at least with the Facebook marketplace, you can like go on their page and at least check them out a little bit. But on Craigslist is kind of just, you don't even know how the person you don't know how they look. You don't know what they're about. You're just walking in a random situation. It's a mystery box.
Yeah, loot crate.
I am always trying to catch the Demon Slayer reactions. You'll probably have to wait a minute on that, but we'll certainly talk about Demon Slayer.
Yeah,
sure.
Right now we're on Megumin, then we'll get to that Demon Slayer, don't you worry. We have a pretty good amount to talk about.
Yeah. But with the whole Megumin thing, she was insecure about Yun because Yun's great at a lot of different things. She's this whole jack of trade. What the hell am I talking about?
Trades.
Yeah, jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Versus master of one type of thing with Megumin because she only has one thing she's good at and is very destructive, so she can only use it in the key situation, which that doesn't arrive too often, which means she don't got no money and she broke. So Yun has to pull the weight on everything, and everybody loves her because she's a good spellcaster and she's great and all of that.
She's nice and genuine and sweet.
Yeah. And Megumin takes offense to that. So, I mean, that was pretty much what was going on in those episodes when it came to the adventuring thing. I guess we got a little lore when it came to
Chomsky.
Chomsky.
Chomsky. That's the Michael Jackson.
Shimon. What did they call her? I think they called her Lady Wallbach.
Yeah, something like that. Wallbach.
Yeah, so I'm assuming Chomsky is some big-breasted lady. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
like that would be the real form.
I almost feel like she's the character at the very beginning where Megumin was really into explosion magic.
The explosion character. Maybe she used up her power and she got that form.
Yeah. But it just kind of, I don't know, it's like, why is she sticking around with Megumin if that's the case? Why doesn't she try to go back? I don't know, maybe this whole time she's trying to tell her, please help me.
You know what? I would bet she is her. Because remember when we had that thought that she was the big boo demon lady? Because we were like, why do these characters look so similar? Because they had like the similar like color hair, big boobs, but they just looked a little different. So I would, she probably is that character that taught her the explosion magic in the first place. Or not taught her, but showed it to her.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's who it is. If it's not, I'm gonna be surprised because it's like, why do people keep going after this cat if it's not?
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I would wager that she's in that form because she used too much of her power, or because she wants to be hidden from those other demons. One or the other. Yeah,
freaking Megumin always wants to get rid of her at every waking moment. The freaking goblin demon, whatever, was like, "Give me Walbuck," and she's like, "Well, Yun, I guess we gotta get rid of this cat."
Well, that was the first time where I'm like, okay, she's speaking reason here. Because the other time she gets up immediately, no resistance whatsoever. But this time he's kind of like, well, if you guys don't give her up, I'm going to destroy the entire village. And
go.
Yeah. And some guy already tried to beat him with some cursed sword. So it kind of set the precedent for how strong he is. So
you remember that guy, right?
With the cursed sword? I don't.
That was, I forget his name, but that was the one Kazuma quote unquote fought in a duel, and then he took his sword and he pawned it off and sold it for money.
See, I'm assuming because I forgot a lot about Konosuba, so it's probably a lot of characters like that where they were in the original show and I just don't remember them. But
I mean, I really like Konosuba. I kind of watched it a lot, but I saw that character and I was like, oh, it's that guy. And then we see Wiz in the background doing her thing. You never saw her face, but I was just like, I know that's Wiz. I know that cloak and hair.
I noticed the boobs, but
you can see the boobs from behind.
Yeah, pretty much. The silhouette is very what's the thing they usually say? You can tell a good character design when you can tell who they are by their silhouette. I noticed the boobs. So good silhouette, Kazuma. I guess.
Kazuma used those things as pillows in one episode. Well, no, it was OVA. That's what it was.
Huh?
When he had that chain on him, and then he was he did all kinds of perverted, messed up things to all the girls, and then the thing fell off, and then they killed him.
Big bulls are a comfortable place to sleep in. But besides that, so now Megumin and Yun are faced with a decision on what to do with this goblin demon, as you called him. And another thing to talk about is that he formed, we already knew this, but I guess I really didn't pay attention. He made a contract with Megumi's sister to be her familiar.
Yeah.
Because of her saving him out of that Rubik's Cube. So she has like this, if he doesn't die, she has a promise of having like a powerful ass demon as her familiar, and she's just I just love how she doesn't know the gravity of that, because she's just doing whatever the fuck she wants. She's like this psychopath kid that's just I guess like winging her way through getting all of this great stuff. Because I think she's the one that found oh no, or was she the one that found Chimosuke?
She is. She said, "Look what we have. We're gonna cook this up for dinner."
Oh yeah. So yeah, she has like an affinity for demons, I guess. Like they flock around her, which that might be a thing too.
She's not even afraid of them either. That's the other thing. She's just kind of like, "Hello, big Mr. Monster. Want to be my friend?"
I mean, she's probably crazier than those demons, to be fair.
True.
So, but I guess another funny aspect of the show is, and I knew they were going to do this when when all the adventurers get the description on Aqua. They talk about her striking blue hair and how beautiful she is as a goddess. And then as soon as they got that description, I said, yeah, they're not going to find Aqua, because she's going to be super rude to them and try to scam some people, which she did. So because of her personality, they don't realize it's Aqua. It's just like how the Axis cult members don't realize that their goddess is right in front of them.
Exactly. That was a funny season. Yeah, that was good. But yeah, that's she probably stinks all the high heaven too, because this is when she's sleeping in the barn.
Yep.
With Kazuma, and they even had that scene too where they were arguing about how they didn't want to be there anymore, and it woke up Megumin in the middle of the night. They were like, it was essentially her rooster crow, where it's waking her up in the morning. It's just, what the hell are these people arguing about? And that kind of bothers me, as we were talking about earlier about the whole fan service stuff and everybody's all around blah blah blah. Because when we first see Megumin, she like just walks up to Kazuma and Aqua as if she didn't even know them and introduced herself and all that other stuff. So it's definitely going to be weird when they finally get to that scene, especially if you look at Konosuba now versus this spin-off series. It just kind of doesn't make sense, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah. It makes it feel like less of a coincidence they're meeting.
Right.
So I don't know. I wish they would cut down on the cameos, because it got to a point where I'm like, all right, I got it. I like the references, but I wish they were a little or a less on the nose about it. Like, you can reference things, but you don't have to literally show these characters every like 5 minutes for us to get the picture that, okay, you're talking about Wheeze, you're talking about Aqua, you're talking about Cosmo right here. You know what I mean? Kind of trust your audience to be able to remember those moments without having to like shove them in our face, because it kind of cheapens what we believe will probably be the last episode, which is Megumin forming a group with them in the first place. Because like now, if we get to them, it won't feel as impactful because you already shown these guys a good amount of times.
Right. And I think it's on its last episode. It comes out next week.
Is it? I thought. Well, yeah, I guess it is 12 episodes.
Yeah, so it's literally gonna be. I feel like the last episode, or even the last moment of the episode, is gonna be her going, "Okay, gonna walk my ass over there and introduce myself," and then that's gonna be it, and it leads into Konosuba.
Yeah. Oh, last thing I want to mention, the Axis Cult, God, said it before, but all of them gotta burn, because
they're horrible.
Cecily, I think that's what she called herself.
Yeah, Cecily.
Jesus, they already did the whole lolicon thing, but man, they made her way more creepier this episode. With her like smelling her bed sheets and smelling her pillowcase and constantly asking to bathe with her.
Right. It was just very weird and awkward, and she was like a rebel too, like throwing.
That was funny. Her going to the other church and just immediately having beef with them. That was funny. The Megumin stuff I did not care for at all, but when she's on a church and just immediately like started kicking it. Like she went into like Yakuza mode. She did the whole rah, like that type of voice. Started kicking the door, threw a rock at the window. Like that's funny to me. Like they're like immediate beef with each other.
Strike, auto.
That was funny. But yeah, the lolicon stuff that wasn't it. Oh my god.
That's what she was doing, just sniffing everything. But yeah, that was bad.
Yeah. Well, I think that is all to talk about with this episode. I won't even ask the hypothetical killer pass thing since we've passed that point. So we're just gonna move on to the next show, which is Insomniacs. Episode. Hold on, I might have the episode number wrong. Give me a second. We're on episodes. Aren't we on like 10? I have to double check to make sure I have the episode numbers. Yeah, we're on 10s. We're on 9 and wait, 9 to 10? No, we're on 10.
Just one.
Episode 10. So yeah, Insomniacs After School, episode 10. I don't know how you felt about this episode, but I love this episode.
Yeah, it was pretty cute. It was basically just what was it? Sisters being sisters. And I see what you mean when you're talking about the whole how they act like legit sisters.
Mm-hmm.
It shows in this episode where, oh my god, where she draws on her face after she falls asleep. I'm like, that is, first of all, I don't know any girls be doing that. That's like something brothers do to each other, but it was still funny to me. And she's just laughing. It's like, you can't, the whole point of drawing on someone's face is you can't say anything, but you have to try to keep a straight face.
She failed.
She 100% failed, and then she went in her place and was like, yeah, she has to go wash her face.
And then Marguerite drew on her too. She drew the poop tattoo on her arm.
I mean, I'm surprised she didn't go full on penis and dick. You know, that's what you got to do, is just draw penises all over each other.
She's too pure for that.
Oh, but spelling the word poop, that's better.
Yeah, it's a little better. You can say poop on TV. You can't say dick on TV though.
True.
At least I don't think so. But yeah, I really like their relationship. They this is the episode I was looking forward to because of what older sis was talking about with her past, Isaki's past, of her constantly garnering pity from other people because of her condition, her heart condition. Which, people didn't know about the heart condition. They just knew that she was sickly and in and out of the hospital. But because of that, she will always get, like I said, pity parties from other people. They showed the scene of her racing and everybody that ran out in front of her and that was faster than her, like going back so they could all tie for first place. And that was something that bothered Isaki because she just wanted to be treated like everybody else. So because of something like that, her elder sister resolved to be a person that would never give her favorable treatment because of her condition. She would never pity her. And she passed the baton on to Ganta. So
with a high five.
Yeah, I really love that part of the episode. Like I said, this is something I was looking forward to a lot. I really like the relationship between these two sisters. And like I said, I like older sis because she's not how a lot of older siblings are portrayed as, like they're super nice, so self-sacrificing. She's a very selfish character.
Oh my god, yes.
But I think it's fine. I think that's kind of realistic. Not saying that everybody is only out for their own self-interest and they have like no hint of goodness. I'm not that edgy. But yeah, a lot of people are self-centered because she kind of took the treatment that Maguri or Isaki was getting as like she was kind of jealous of it, you know? And I feel like that initial emotion, especially as a kid, is natural. I think it would be kind of unnatural if she didn't feel any type of negative emotions towards that. Like her parents missing out on school events because they had to take care of Isaki. That's not to say that that's not to say that you should feel that way, but it's understandable to feel kind of slighted when your sister's kind of like absorbing all attention because of her condition, you know. It's understandable that you would feel some type of way towards that. So I guess I just really always appreciated the more grounded outlook on what a sibling relationship looks like, because I think it looks like this, especially when you're a little closer in age.
In the constant fighting, it even woke up Ganta. That one scene where they're just like, I forgot what they were even arguing about, but they were just like going back and forth, and Ganta was just like, "Oh, they're arguing again."
they literally were fighting when elder sis was like, "Yeah, I'm out. I'm going with my boyfriend," and then Isaki, of course, is mad because she's supposed to be their chaperone. They aren't supposed to be there without her. So, yeah. So when Isaki like shows how mad she is, she threatens her and says, "If you say anything to mom, I'm gonna sock you." I'm like, Jesus Christ. She has a heart condition. When you say you're gonna treat her equally, I didn't know you meant like this. She's like, I don't care if you have a heart condition, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
I'm gonna punch you right in the heart too, so that it skips a beat.
Oh yeah, but yeah, they had their little scuffle because of that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, it's very, very cool to see something like that in an anime, because I agree, it's always the whole "ne-san, ne-san," and they're just so nice and wrapping their arms around. It's like, oh, get off me, sis. Yeah, it's funny to see an actual, you know, basically just like a sibling rivalry type of relationship.
Yeah. And I find she's a funny character to me. She's basically a troll. When she introduces herself to Ganta for the first time, what did she call it? She called herself Ocean View Sea McFloaty Fest. And then Ganta hears that and he's like, obviously that's not true. He doesn't know how to respond.
He's just like,
Yeah. And then Isaki has to step in, and then when Isaki steps in, she says she's a clone cultivated from her cells. She's a troll. Fun character.
Yeah. She even when Ganta said Maguri, she was like, "There's more than one Maguri here," and then Ganta was just like, Saki.
Yeah, that's another reason I like her. She kind of, not that she does this often, but just with that scene, she kind of progresses their relationship a little bit by putting them in uncomfortable situations, you know, with, like you said, her getting Gonta to call her by her first name.
Yeah, she's not all bad. She's a jerk, but she's not heartless.
Yeah. And well, you can tell that she cares. She
cares.
Because I think what she was doing during this trip was kind of feeling out Gonta, because I imagine she already she's seeing a boy being invited into her home. So her first thought is, okay, this is my little sister's boyfriend. Let me see what he's about, basically,
right.
without saying that explicitly. So I think she was trying to figure out what his personality was what his intentions were, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And she found out that he was a pretty good guy.
Yeah, because she even tried to tell him, don't get involved with my sister, because it's gonna be, kind of like F a Tale of Memories. Don't you get started, because it's nothing but pain.
You don't get it.
Right. Why didn't you tell me? Would you have said anything else if I told you? Would you have done it?
Why you stand in the shadows with the moon behind you, the size of the whole fucking frame?
Right. And there's literally no one else in the world.
I love Elf. It's so dramatic.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. But yeah, Gonta was just like, he stood his ground and he said that he really likes her. And then I think that's kind of what made her kind of change his mind about, well, not change his mind, but kind of get an understanding. Because it's not like right away she was defensive, which I also like that too. Because you know how there's some characters that are like, how you think you can date my sister? Prove it. I'll kick your ass.
Yeah. They kind of go on too long with the whole, because they like characters of her mold exist in almost all romance anime. They kind of I kind of think of them as like gatekeepers towards the relationship, and you have to appease the gatekeeper to get further in the relationship. It's like having like some mini boss fight to I don't know, get to first base with the character, or first base in this case in terms of anime is calling them by their first name, because third and fourth base is holding hands.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows the 4 bases of anime.
Mm-hmm. First base, first name bases, second base, sex, third base. That's when you like swap clothes with each other. Like she's wearing your hoodie and stuff like that. And fourth base is holding hands.
That's the quad. Just hold the hands is the everything everyone always aims for is holding hands.
Yeah. Marriage is overrated. Holding hands is, you're basically locked in at that point.
That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm. Wait, hold on. I gotta read what Ellie said. I wasn't looking at the chat. Whoa, slow down. Can't just say a girl's name. Yo, whoa. First base is eye contact with the shiny lights. It can be.
Or first base is running with toast in your mouth, turning a corner, and crashing into each other.
True. Yeah, you got to do the whole the bump and grind thing first.
Right. Drop all your books and pencils. Sorry, and then just
Come in. But what was the other thing I wanted to say with this episode? I kind of lost track. Because I was talking about the whole gatekeeper thing. Oh yeah. I was going to say, I think a lot of shows, when it comes to characters of her ilk, with being like this gatekeeper that has to approve of their relationship, they kind of have like their own arc dedicated to them, where it may last in like an anime, it may last like 3 episodes or something like that. And I think it just drags on because you understand what the character is there for, and because you've kind of seen it so many times, it's just like, let's just get to the point. But she didn't overstay her welcome. She was a focus in one episode and she was out.
Yep. She had to see her boyfriend.
Yeah. I mean, and to me, I don't know if this is true or not, because we might never know. But I think she actually left because she wanted to kind of force them in a situation to where they're alone, which props to her, because we kind of seen this before in this show already, where third wheels understand that they're third wheels and they stay out of the picture. I love that.
Yeah, that is so great and so refreshing, because I swear there's so many third wheels that'll just randomly open the door, or they'll put their arm around the main protagonist. It's like, hey buddy, what you doing? Oh, she's cute. Yeah.
Yeah, third wheels that think their main characters are the worst. Like, please just let them have their alone time, so I don't have to stay here for 50 plus episodes to wait on a fucking kiss. Rent a girlfriend.
Oh, fuck me. First base is your friend saying you'll never get with the hot popular girl. No one is brave enough to ask out yet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good job.
But yeah, I would like to imagine that she didn't get a spontaneous call from her boyfriend, but she's the one that initiated the whole meeting so that she can get out of their hair, because it's just the timing of it. That didn't happen until she kind of she saw what Ganta was about, realized that, okay, he'll be good for my sister. And then she got that call. So I would like to imagine that she did this to get out of their hair, which props to her.
She's a real one.
Yep. So what do you think about what we might get from the alone time with Ganta and Isaki?
For the long time?
Oh, for their alone time.
Oh, alone time. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is anime, so they probably won't be banging anytime soon.
Probably not.
No. Ever so often do you get those rare animes where they actually have sex. Speaking of F again, they did that in F Till Memory. So, if anything, I would say a lot of that maybe awkward stuff because they're both alone, blah blah blah. But I think they will definitely get closer relationship wise. They'll know a lot more about one another, and I think maybe, just maybe, there might be some skin to skin. Not so much sex, but maybe maybe like a hand and maybe like a kiss.
So you're second base and a half.
Yeah, I know I said they were going to get together by episode 5, and I was kind of close. But I think this one there'll be a lot more romance and a lot more just character development, or just like enhancing just the story and everything. Just getting closer, because I can also see a scene where, like they have been doing in the previous episodes, where they'll just sleep with each other. And I don't mean in a sexual way, where they literally just hear each other's heartbeats.
Yeah, literally sleeping with each other.
Asleep. Literally, that's what they do, is they fall asleep with each other. So I could see that.
I mean, I've really liked the rate at which we see their relationship grow, because at this stage, they understand that they're both like special to each other. They haven't become an official couple or anything of the sort. But I think because of how everything has unfolded, everybody's comfortable with these two characters being in like an unofficial relationship. And there's not going to be like some third party that impedes that. Because we talked about some of the tropes that this show doesn't fall into, one of those being a love triangle thing. There hasn't been a third factor or a third party that comes in here and like, I like you too. And then they're here to spice things up. And in actuality, they're there to make the show a lot longer than it needs to be. The show hasn't fallen into that hole. It's very straightforward. What you see is what you'll get. So that's been good. Like I said, they kind of understand what they are to each other. And another aspect that I like about the relationship is that not only do they like each other, they think that one another is cool, which and they have legitimate reasons for thinking that. It's not one of those dorky things to where I think they're cool because they try their hard. Like, it's not like that. It's like Gonta has a lot of good qualities about him. He can cook. He's a great handyman. He's pretty smart. So he has that going for him. And Maguri is a ball of sunshine that got Gonta to actually socialize with people. That's more kind of a basic thing that happens in most romance shows. You usually have the reserved guy and the outgoing girl. But even though it's something that's that happens a lot, it's a common thing, still think it's good here. It makes a lot of sense and it just flows well.
Do they have animes where it's reversed? Where it's a very outgoing guy and a very reserved girl?
For sure. I would have to think about it, but they've done that for sure.
Okay. I was just curious because I watch romance here and there, but it's not the thing that I watch all the time.
If I think of something on like while we're doing it, I don't know if I will. I'll like shoot it towards you, but yeah, it's definitely less common with the guy being like the bubbly one and the girl being the more shy character. It usually only would happen if the girl is the main focus of the series.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I guess I've seen some where the girl is like a loner and then like the guy goes to her and gets her out of her shell. But he's not like an adventurous type. He's just more like, come on, don't be so shy. Let's party. No, he doesn't say that.
Well, you know, a show that we both read, or My Little Monster's kind of like that. Because I wouldn't say Shizuku isn't the bubbly type of character.
That's true. Okay, you're right. I guess I kind of forgot about that because I didn't like how it ended, but that's true because the main dude, Haru, he's very out. I mean, even though he's kind of weird and emotionally just out there, he's definitely the outgoing type where it's like, come on, Shizuku, let's go here. And she, if it was up to her, she would just study and just do her math all day.
Yeah, it doesn't happen a lot, but that's one example. My Little Monster. Wish it would have ended better, but alas. Ellie said, I think she's cool because she gives so much effort. Happens in Danganronpa. Yeah, they have legitimate reasons for thinking that one another is cool, which I like that. You know, nothing too deep with it. It's just, this is true high school romance.
One of the reasons why someone might think someone is cool is because they're a mad scientist.
True, and they like Dr. Pepper.
I am a mad scientist. It's so cool, son of a bitch.
Yoing Kilma.
Yeah.
I had a friend who just finished that show recently, and they loved it. It was like pulling teeth for them to get past first couple of episodes, but after they did that, it was smooth sailing for them.
I can see where people could definitely like be bored with it, but I don't know. I liked it from the get-go, and I don't know, I just thought it was just, even with the slower moments where all they talked about was the time travel concept and the banana and how everything worked and da-da-da. I liked it. I thought it was neat, but I guess I could see where some people might be like, okay, when's something gonna happen? And then when the one girl, glasses girl, comes in, guns blazing. I think that's when, obviously, that's when stuff picks up. But I mean, it's a great show.
Also, what you get in this episode is a little bit of Ganta's backstory and his relationship with his father. How did you feel about that? How did you feel about that whole backstory?
My goodness, it's very relatable as a father. Where, especially the whole shoes thing, where he was just like, I didn't know what was wrong with him and why he acted out. Then it took me to realize his shoes were too small.
Mm-hmm.
He just wore them all the way to the end. It's like, if you would have just told me from the get-go, we could have solved all this. And being a dad myself, not so much the shoes, but I definitely have come across moments where, why didn't you tell me? If you would have just told me, maybe things would have been different, blah, blah, blah. But God, that was definitely so relatable when I saw something like that. I was just like, yep, that's kids, all right.
Yeah. I think what you kind of learn from it, or what's not really talked about in the forefront of that, but you kind of get based on the context of how he treats his father. I think the mother was the glue that was holding that family together. And because of her departure, everything kind of fell apart. He talks about how she just left in the middle of the night one day. So that may be a part in why he's insomniac in the first place. We already got the reason as to why Isaki is the way she is, because she felt like she could die in her sleep. So that kind of trauma of being abandoned by his mom could also be the reason why he's an insomniac. So a lot of uncovering of trauma with this. So
yeah, it's not because they can't sleep at night. I mean, that is why, but there's a reason behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, they don't really focus too much on his relationship with his father, but I always found it kind of like an interesting talking point. As you kind of see the father it's a weird relationship, because Ganta kind of like does all the cooking and he kind of like does everything around the house, and the father, works, comes home, goes to sleep on the couch. It's weird. Because it's like no animosity really between these characters, but it's still kind of icy between those two.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird one.
Yeah. But like I said, I think it's all because the mother is probably the one that was holding everything down. And when she left, things fell apart. So I wonder if we'll ever be introduced to the mom at some point in this series. Because I'll tell you, it has not happened in the manga.
Oh, really?
Nope.
Wow.
No. So I don't know if she'll ever like come into the story, but it would be interesting to see Ganta kind of confronting those feelings of abandonment with his mother. I think it would be a waste to not have her in the series. So maybe they're saving it for some big moment. Who knows? But yeah, the backstory is interesting. Love Isaki's sister. Love the relationship, realistic relationship of siblings that was displayed in the show. Ganta's cool, and now they're all alone. So it's time to do your thing, romance anime. Do your thing. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say about Insomniacs, EA?
No, just that when everything's all said and done, someone's gonna be making this noise at the end of the night.
Oh God. What? Ganta?
That's the sound of, oh my God, I think I'm gonna.
Oh my God. I don't know how I feel about that. He's a pure kid, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, how you doing down there?
They're well. Speaking of that, Demon Slayer episode 10.
The waifu episode.
Yes. We got Love Hashira, Mitsuri in all of her glory, and backstory as well. Mitsuri-chan. How do we feel about Mitsuri as a character with this episode? Do we like her more? What's the temperature?
Definitely very interesting. Like, well, first things first, she's incredibly strong. Like, as an adult and as a kid, she's strong. She was whooping fully grown man's ass in arm wrestling, which is insane. It's like, where'd she get all this strength?
I like how they're just like, yeah, she's just like that.
Right. There's no rhyme or reason. Not bit by a radioactive spider. Nothing. Just
she's built
just born strong.
She's built different.
Right. How about the fact that there was a dude that didn't want to marry her just because of her hair?
He has to be the lamest character I've seen in anime. He's just like, no, I don't want big boob pretty lady because she got pink hair. Boy, what the and his reasoning wasn't because he doesn't like her hair. His reasoning was because I don't want my kids to have that past. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry. Do you not see that she's a catch? That she's gorgeous?
You're in the anime. Why are you even worried about hair color?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's literally. Oh, and did you see the reason behind how she got her hair color that way?
Yeah, they said it in the manga before because I never watched the stuff after the credits.
Yeah, they said it in the after credits. It was the secret blah blah blah. It's because she eats a lot of those pink and green rice balls.
Yeah. Yeah, they said this way earlier in the manga before, so I already knew the reasoning behind it.
Well, that's kind of a dumb reason, to be honest.
Yeah, it's stupid. This is why I said Ellie likes this. Well, not why I said Ellie likes this character, but I'm like, okay, because I was talking about some of the goofy characters that Ellie likes, and when I found out that he liked Mitsuri, I was like, ooh. Another goofy character, huh? Because her hair color changed because she eats too much snacks is stupid, but hey. So it's all right.
Yeah.
Makes her unique.
I don't hate her. She's strong, she's feminine. She's got a really interesting sword that, like I said, acts like a whip in a way, the way that it moves.
Who's that character from Inuyasha who has a sword like that? Not that it's unique to Inuyasha. We've seen the snake sword thing before. What was their name? Jikotsu. Ah, Jikotsu. You remember Jikotsu? Jikotsu's the guy who was gay for Inuyasha and Moroku.
God, it's been a minute. That name doesn't sound familiar. Let me think. Inuyasha.
He was in love with the Inuyasha.
Goo.
Hello, Ryzen Sun. Hi, Sasuke and EAA and cool chat people. What is good, Ryzen? How's your day been going?
Hello, Rising.
I could send you something of Jikotsu if you.
Yeah, chat. Please. I think I typed in the wrong thing and I saw Jockin instead.
Jikotsu, but yeah, we get her backstory, which honestly wasn't that relevant to what was going on in the show. I kind of don't like how they implement some of the backstories with the fights, because it's gotten to the point where it's predictable in terms of me going, all right, now they're going to insert the backstory here, because I guess it was relevant when it came to her strength, but it's not as if we found out why she's that strong. It's just that she's been that strong since birth.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was a weird backstory to put in because I don't think it added anything to what was going on in the fight. We learned that people didn't want to marry her for whatever reason because she's too strong, because she's a goofy, blah blah blah. So she hides her true self. I guess that was the point of it. That she in this fight she gets to be who she truly is. Because Tanjiro and everybody else is appreciative of her because she is strong. So I guess maybe that was a point. I don't know.
But it's like, I feel like other people were already appreciative of her even before Tanjiro and the gang. Because it's like, even Snake Guy was like, here's some delicious, here's some knee socks is what I'm trying to say.
It was that his way of flirting?
I don't know.
Here, baby. Here's some socks. If you rip them, I'll give you another pair. If that's all it takes to get Mitsuri, I'm doing something wrong. I gotta go get some socks.
I remember. This is a guy, right?
Yeah.
I forgot about this guy. God, it's been forever since I've seen Inuyasha. But you're right. He liked both of them, and and Inuyasha was just like, oh,
Inuyasha. Yeah, the biggest Inuyasha fan, bigger than actual Inuyasha fans in real life.
But yeah, that's how you get Mitsuri, is just give her some socks, and then look away and say, "Girl, if those rip, I'll get you some more."
This is how you pick up women, ladies and gentlemen. Go out there, buy you some socks. You still have to talk to them, so that may be a step you may not want to hear. But yeah, buy some socks. Offer the socks to her, and when she says so step. If she says thank you for the socks, then proceed with the line, "If they rip, I'll buy you another pair." But if she says, "What the hell is this?" I don't know.
You know what you do at that point? You just get up and just run.
Just run. Oh yeah, especially if you're at a restaurant or whatever. Don't pay the bill, just run. That's her bill now.
Yep. She gets to pay for the ramen that you half ate.
Yeah. Screw her for not being appreciative of such delicate socks. Pristine socks.
Yeah. Green socks.
That match her hair. Did he go in with that intention that I'm gonna get socks that match her hair?
Maybe that was the whole point. I want
to see him shop for those socks now. I feel like it would be awkward seeing a dude like him shop for socks. Like he's just like, hey, you got them pink and green ones, baby. Like, I just got to see him shop for the socks. Like, yeah, these are perfect.
Oh, what if he like actually made them himself? Like he just like crocheted them.
That would actually be cool. If that actually happened, if he made those himself, then I'll stop making fun of it, because that's a little more cool than like him buying it. Because then he'll be like old Gojo from My Dress Up Darling. You know, who doesn't love a man who can make you clothes? It's pretty neat.
Just needs to get paid for it now. I swear, he can just like have a whole lot of hot women just come through. Forget making dolls. All he can do is just do cosplay for girls, and he would rake in the dough.
Yeah. He said, "Darn, I had to talk. Man, I'm screwed. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you can't be guts. You can't just say like 5 words and still get the women. Sorry."
And you have to actually put words together. You don't go up to Mitsuri and just go, "I've got socks."
I have socks for you, for Mitsuri.
She's just like, "What? What are you saying?" I said,
women.
Oh, that's guts. Women, am I right?
But yeah, she's fighting off emotional demon. I'm not saying his name anymore. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the upper moon. She's fighting them off while the other guys go for the jugglers, so to speak, with the mini me version of them.
Yeah, that's basically what happened that episode. But yeah, I mean, it looks great as always. Just beautiful fighting, just really great and action packed. But pretty much just the next episode's going to be the last episode, and it's going to be 70 minutes long.
Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the first episode was, I feel like, an hour, and now the last episode is going to be 70 minutes. It's like, why couldn't they just, I don't know, split them up into like 13 episodes like normal people?
They really love doing a whole make it look like a movie thing. I'm not particularly mad at it. It's just because of the podcast, it's kind of like, I don't want to talk about another movie.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'd rather have it split up into 2 different episodes, but or 3 different episodes, but it is what it is. I know it'll look great. I haven't been that fond of this arc, but I'm hoping that the last episode kind of puts it more in a positive light.
Yeah, this arc has basically just been showcasing other Hashira fighting.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be like that going forward as well, based on us potentially taking out these upper moon. I mean, let's keep it real. We're going to take out both of these upper moons. So then there's only going to be 3 left.
Yep. And then Muzan's going to like kill all of them. And then it's just going to be him for some reason.
Probably.
He's going to be like, you guys are failures. Come here. Let me rip you in half. And all that crap.
God, that lower moon thing still bugs me to this day. I think people don't understand the ramifications of that, because it basically shrunk the size of the story by going, yeah, now we only got to worry about these threats. It's such an odd choice to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm so accustomed to the whole shonen thing of having like progression towards getting to the stronger characters. Like if you think of Bleach, you think of like the Espada and whatnot, getting a treat with what number are they, who's going to fight who, and kind of just forsake that entirely. Not entirely, because there was still Upper Moon left, but it was like, yo, why did we take out all the rest of these guys? For what reason exactly? They could have put in some work with some of these Hashira.
Huh. I agree. I mean, you could have showcased all the other ones and like the ones that haven't even had barely any screen time and see what they could do. That way, when some of them, not to say when, Rengoku died, it wasn't impactful. But what I mean is like if Mitsuri was to die right now, it would be shocking as well, and it would be one of those. Like if we already saw her fighting and doing her thing before, it would be like, whoa, that's crazy.
Ellie said, but Sasuke, after fighting your brother and his boss, we can skip all the way to the grand dictator of Space Frieza. Yep, all of space. Isn't shonen great? Yeah, that's the whole thing of Dragon Ball. Kind of just it felt we talked about this so many times. Kind of Toriyama, it feels riding at the seat of his pants. Just whatever he thinks is cool in the moment, because then it's kind of like, oh no, Frieza's not actually the strongest guy here. Now you have Boo. Oh wait, no, it's not Boo. Actually, you have. Oh, actually, I skipped a step. We created Cell. oh no, we
Mhm.
actually had Boo this entire time and nobody talked about him because of reasons. And we had the Kaz that existed here but never did anything and never spoke up and still didn't do anything in the arc really, but trained Gohan. And then it's like, oh no, it's not Boo. We have Beerus. Oh, it's not Beerus. We have Whis. Oh, it's not Whis. We have Zeno.
Yeah, the Grandmaster Zeno. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It is what it is. But we always look forward to great looking fights with Ufotable. And while I haven't been too invested in these upper moons and fighting them, I think at least the Hashiras have been interesting. Like Miss Boy, cool enough. Mitsuri, cool enough. You know, they all have personalities to where you would at least just like them on a surface level. So
Right. And people would like Mitsuri for just looks.
yeah.
You know, freaking Upper Moon. I was about to say Upper Moon Hashira. Upper Moon Demon called her a tramp, and she got really offended by that. Tramp.
I was also taken aback by them calling him a kid. I was like, does he really look like a kid to you guys? Maybe it's because he's a demon, but he doesn't look like a kid to me.
Right, and also he's probably a lot older because they live to be hundreds of years old. So it's just like, yeah, he may kind of look like a kid, but overall he's an asshole.
Bit of an asshole.
I mean, I think his name is Hatred or whatever, and he just has a bad look on him all the time. But it's just like, dude, hug somebody.
He needs a Snickers.
You're right, because he's not himself when he's hungry.
Mm. And one thing I didn't like in the episode, and I hate to do it because I've said this before, Tanjiro is my nephew. I love him to bits. I want the best for him at all times. But Tanjiro, what the fuck were you doing in this episode? What were you doing at that last moment? Why was he just yelling at him? I feel like they tried to create that Rengoku moment where he's yelling at God, I forgot his name. Third Upper Moon.
Yeah.
I feel like they tried to recreate that to some degree, but it wasn't the same because why aren't you doing something? like Tanjiro couldn't do anything in a movie or whatever, but here he's just yelling at him instead of like actually trying to kill him for some reason.
Right.
That was weird.
He's pointing at him going, "Hey, you're the coward.
Yeah.
You're a bastard." It's like, just slice his fucking head off.
Yeah, he's running away. I think he knows he's a coward.
He literally, all he does is cry and go,
oh, and they try to give him like a mini backstory where he was like, I didn't want to be like this. What was his excuse? He said something where I'm glad they didn't actually like give him a backstory and it was just exposition.
Like, he was never wrong. Or
yeah,
like,
I never lied.
Right, that's it.
Yeah, that's what he said. I never lied. I was like, what the fuck? They you know, Demon Slayer does this thing to where they don't necessarily try to sympathize with the demons in terms of trying to make the audience feel like they shouldn't die. What they do is they expand on the demons once being humans and kind of showing how they became demons or whatever. They don't try to like humanize them to the point where you're like, no, don't kill that demon. But I felt like here they're trying to give him like some redeeming thing about him, and I'm like, what? Because they didn't really go more in depth with that, it just felt weird. I never lied, but you killed like 200 people. What?
Yeah, I'm sure once they cut his head off, we're gonna get the backstory of probably both of these demons or whatever.
I hope not. I hope we don't get a backstory. Like at least for him, please don't give us a backstory. We don't need it. We got too many backstories in this arc, honestly.
Every demon that gets their head cut off always has to have a backstory. You know it's coming.
God. Ellie said, I wish we got that kind of backstory before Goku blew up Frieza on Namek. That would have been funny. Oh, Frieza. I never wanted to be the evil dictator that people say I am. The reason I call people monkeys because once I had a monkey that was my best friend until the Saiyan killed him.
That would be hilarious. And then Goku's like, I never knew.
And then we found out the monkey was Bubbles the entire time. Bubbles from
God.
King Kai's planet.
Mm-hmm.
Get some lore. We tie in some stuff. Go. Oh my God. That is something Toriyama would actually do. Oh man.
And also Randy, where has Ben? Don't know.
Deceased.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. He's in the Ripper universe. Wait, no, he's just dead.
Yeah, he's dead. But if you're C should be here by next season. So if you guys miss C, he's not gone. Like we're not going to keep doing this without him. He will be back. So don't worry about that. Just taking some time off. But I think that's pretty much everything I had to say with this episode. 70-minute episode to look forward to ? Next week. But I thought this was a solid episode. I guess I never gave my take on Mitsuri. I think I don't have a fondness for Mitsuri like that, honestly. And I know I touted myself as a Shinobu guy, but man, it's been so long since we actually saw her that it's not that I'm falling out of love with her, but I've been neglected with Shinobu, and I'm sure by the time she shows up, she's just going to die. So
don't look at what Ellie just said.
We're down bad. Mitsuri over Shinobu just to start a fight. No, but I mean. It is what it is. I mean, I can't at this point, I can't really fight that because what have we really gotten for Shinobu? You know, we got the one little fight.
Butterflies.
Yeah, one little fight. She had a strong introduction, and then after that, it was taking care of Tanjiro off screen at her estate.
Let me look at you with my big eyes.
They are big eyes. Time for violence. Did I just catch you having a different opinion?
Oh, sweet Jesus, my baby.
I'm glad you caught that reference. This last episode going to be wild. Hopefully, I need this demon to just die. Oh my God, because the last episode is going to be so long, he's not going to die easy. It's going to be some bullshit. He's gonna have a steel neck.
I'm telling you, he's gonna die in the first 5 minutes, and then the rest of the episode is gonna be his backstory.
Oh no, he ain't! Don't you put that evil on us! don't say that. I don't want a backstory for this character. I just don't care enough to get a backstory for him.
And it's just going to be about him. It's not even going to be about the other demon that died that was more kind of unique looking or whatever.
That is true. We didn't get a backstory for him. And I thought he was a little more interesting. I thought he had a little more personality, which is weird to say because this guy has multiple personalities. But I thought the other guy had a better personality than this guy. Oh, man. Tanjiro is going to make y'all shouting at your TV with pure height. I can't say. Well, no, he has done that for me with the Rengoku stuff when he was, or with Asakura. I think that was his name. Asakura stuff when he called him a coward, called him out. Oh man.
Come back, you coward.
That was my favorite moment in all of Demon Slayer. I don't think anything is going to top that moment for me. Nothing has thus far. But it is what it is. But that's all we had to say about that. last thing to talk about is Vinland Saga.
Oh my goodness. This is just peak anime right now.
Yeah.
Like this episode. Well, first of all, was expect. I made the joke. I said, "Well, time to hit the dusty trail," and that's what Thorfinn kind of did. He was like, "I guess if you won't stop, then I will leave."
I'm not going to be your friend anymore. I'm taking my ball and I'm leaving.
He pulled a Eric Cartman. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
I mean, it makes sense if he wants to go with the whole pacifist thing. He can't really fight against them. It would defeat his whole purpose.
I just thought it was funny how he actually legitimately was just like, I'm gonna leave.
I mean, Canute thought it was funny too.
Yeah, what's he gonna do at that moment right there? No, I'm gonna cut your head off like Askeladd. Nope, I'm out of here. And I was kind of confused by the whole why Canute even left. Like, he killed all those people, and all those poor souls died, and all that. And just because Canute saw Thorfinn and was like, wow, a Viking could turn you into that? Well, fuck this farm, I'm out of here. It was just kind of like, so he went, I mean, even his men were kind of like, yeah, Floki didn't like what you did, man. And he's like, do you oppose it? Oh, I mean, no. Like, if I was in that position, I'd be more like, so you had us march all. I mean, yeah, I get it. He's the king. No one's going to defy the king. No one's going to speak their word or their mind against the king and whatever. Mm-hmm. But the fact that nobody was literally just like, so we just killed all these people for nothing, was just like, to me, just like, I mean, nobody spoke up. I would be like, especially the Vikings, where it's like, we didn't get to pillage anything. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
that speaks to, I guess, the power he has, because with how rough and rugged these John's Vikings are, that's their whole thing, pillaging and plundering. So them being denied of that, because, you know, Canute already like told them to resist on that a little bit. But even he realizes that he has to let them do it to some extent, or it's going to cause a lot of discontent with everybody. So he understands the whole game of how things work, but he's powerful enough to keep those guys at bay and just call them off.
Yeah, it just kind of felt like all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. Like I seriously thought that maybe that they were going to take their stuff and leave, and that Canute was going to go through and just still take the farm. I mean, yeah, he'll respect Thorfinn and he'll, you know, give him his time to leave and everything. But I wasn't expecting Canute to just like take his forces and just leave. Like, that to me was just like, huh, okay. I definitely was not expecting that. But hey, Thorfinn saved the farm and everyone else. So he set out to do what he said he was going to do, and he did it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
QRWC said Thorfinn even told Canute he needs to try harder. Yeah. It's really hard to do what Thorfinn is doing, taking the whole pacifist route, because I think it's easy to fight back when you're under duress or you're under attack. Harder thing to do, especially in a kind of jaded world they live in, where
where they're slaves.
Yeah, where they're slaves, might equals right. It's hard to extend of olive branch by staying true to yourself and like wanting peace in all of its glory, which means that you can't fight back even when somebody's fighting against you. It's really hard to do that. So that's the hard part that Thorfinn is alluding to. And then QRW6 goes on to say Canute has been outlawing pillaging. He has, he's called off some of those things, but I also believe that in his heart of hearts, he can speak against it. He can try to outlaw it, but he knows that Vikings will do as Vikings do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he understands the necessary evil that comes with that amount of power. So, like, he's doing it, of course, while he can supervise it, but there has to be a lot of that still happening whenever people are not under his eye. It's just that's how things are. Like, he's trying to make the best out of a really shitty type of tradition, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
And Pater lives. Yes, he does. He came out with just a broken arm, just a Vegeta arm.
Yeah, but freaking Kettle, he's now blind and broken.
Good.
Right?
Great.
He's just blind and broken, and like the last thing we'll ever see of this man is him looking out on a balcony that he can't even see of his farm that he worked so hard for, and with his hands over his face just in defeat, and his wife just basically saying, I hate you.
I mean, all things considered, he got out a lot way luckier than he should have been. He didn't lose his life, and basically all of his family stayed intact. His wife is still there. His dad is still living. His two sons are both living. And we got to talk more about Olmar. But yeah, I mean, he didn't get his comeuppance, so to speak, other than the injury. But that's how things are too.
Yeah, and now Thorfinn. Oh, well, I love the scene with Thorfinn and Einar when, they were paying their respects to Ironhide and everything. And what that basically led into was Thorfinn talking to Einar saying, let's make Vinland a reality. Let's actually make the world a better place.
Place with no slaves and no war.
Right. And at the end of the day, isn't that what we should do as a society? Just to make this place a better place to live?
Yeah.
Or just this world anyway, a better place to live? I mean, that would be great if everybody had that mindset. But
what I liked about Thorfinn's outlook and his resolve to create this place across the sea, Vinland, is that he realizes that people like Canute, people, kings in power that seek for power and to expand beyond horizons they never saw, he understands that's an inevitable thing that he can't change without power, because of how they will fight back against trying to have peace. Because peace also means that, like, total peace also means that there's not going to be an ultimate power anymore. So of course there's going to be people that resent that. That's how things work. For there to be winners, there's going to be losers.
Yep.
So Thorfinn realizes like how the world is. He isn't naive in the slightest. He just wants to create kind of like this bubble in society to where he can create an ideal place. Like, they're both both Canute and Thorfinn are working towards sort of a similar goal and having some peace in some respects. But in Thorfinn's case, it's a lot more idealistic. But he realizes that since he can't apply that to the real, or the entire world, he wants to at least create a society in one place where people could go if they wanted to escape Canute's reign, which I think that's still idealistic, but it's way more realistic than thinking that you can change the entire world.
True. Very true.
Yeah. So it's like this place of salvation for anybody that wants to go against war, or wants to escape slavery or anything of the sort. So that's what he's working hard to create, and Einar is completely on board. They are now brothers in arms. Yeah, and I love that moment between them. I think I said this plenty of times, but that's another just one of my favorite moments in the series, in the entirety of the series. So it's been a lot of great episodes with the show. I think this is probably my anime of the year, honestly.
And the year's not even over.
I think it will remain to be my anime of the year, because the only thing that I had contending with this prior to it airing, or prior to this segment of the season airing, was Attack on Titan, and that was only like 3 episodes or so, but I still thought it was really strong episodes. And even with it wrapping up his story, Vinland's probably still going to end up being my favorite. So many great moments that came out of this season, and we're still not even done.
And isn't it crazy how it all took place on like one area mostly?
One little farm.
I would say like 80% on the farm, 20% at Canute's place with Omar and Kettle and all them.
Yeah. Albert in the chat said, "Been too long. How's everyone doing?" We're doing well. I would like to thank Albert. How have you been doing? One person in the podcast may not be doing well. Maybe a little cold skin, but hey, everybody has those days. Everybody makes mistakes. QRW6 says, "But I am mad at those saying there was an interaction with Orphan and Leif in the manga, but the anime adapted it to the T." Yeah, there's been a lot of people looking at the anime saying it's not totally accurate to the manga. Which, yeah, they skipped out on some things that could have enhanced the experience. But I think for the most part, the anime's done a pretty great job adapting the manga. I don't expect everything to be on one-on-one adaptation. I just expect it to flow well and just to be good. It's not an animated manga. It's an entire different adaptation. Following the manga, of course, but as long as everything is all right with it, as long as an anime only can view this and be satisfied with it, it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I haven't read a single thing. I don't read the manga. I just watch the show, and as a show, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like the pace, the flow. I've shed more tears over this than anything in a good while. And we have one more episode left, I think. Right?
Yeah. Last episode. And then we'll probably not get Vinland for a long time. It took, 4 years to get this season 2? So.
Yeah, 4 years. But now that, I don't know if that was the reason. Because first it was Wit, and now it's
Mappa.
Mappa, thank you. And maybe it'll be easier this time around because Mappa seems to be doing pretty well for itself. But if it's going to take another 4 years, I'll be sad. But if I could complete this show, that would be even greater.
They've been doing a good job. They have enough content to do another 24 episodes if that's what they want to go for. At this point, they are halfway done in a manga where the manga is, in chapter 100's range, I would say.
Dang.
I don't know if I'm getting that number exactly right, but it's around that number. So about half of the manga is still a lot to adapt if they want to go through and do another 24 episodes. Definitely possible. But a lot of people would say this is the golden standard of Vinland. So this is a lot of people's favorite arc in Vinland Saga. A lot of people love the prologue as well, but it's like these two arcs that people love. and
Cool.
they've done a great job with it.
Look who's in the chat.
Hold on. First I want to read Ellie's. Ellie said, "You will always be a winner if you take my my 599 course to get you on your grind set." Money sign. Philip, what's good, Philip? Oh no, I'm late and inebriated. Let's get the lights up for our boys, or so our boys don't have to worry about face reveals and flaky women. Yeah, 500 subscribers. That's our goals for us to do the face cam. So currently we are 144 subscribers away. So if you're watching this and you are subscribed, wake your bitch ass up and subscribe if you want to see my face. Yeah. I don't know if you want to see my face right now because I'm not photogenic right now. But when we do the face cam stuff, I have like a green screen set up, greatly lit room. Who knows? Maybe I'll put on the sexy shorts just for you guys. Who knows?
Ooh.
Who knows? Give you something to look forward to.
Someone was happy.
Yeah. They're excited. But Albert says, I've been watching the previous season of Vinland with my girlfriend, so I've not seen the recent 2 episodes because I promised I'd let her catch up. She just waited for me with Attack on Titan. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's cool.
Cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. That's an ideal relationship. Those who watch anime together stay together, as they say. Can't wait
also,
Oh, go ahead.
When you subscribe now and get the viewership up when it comes to watching our videos, we can now get monetized thanks to YouTube's new and improved monetization I guess steps.
Yep. They lowered the threshold for you to get monetized, which we're celebrating that, but it used to be like this before. So we're kind of just celebrating them, I guess, regressing to the old. They're not exactly the same, but because they upped it in 20. What year was that? What year did I start my channel? I think I started my channel 2017. So I think they upped the threshold in 2018 or 2019, around that time, to 1,000 subscribers, certain amount of watch time, yada 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 yada. But yeah, if we get to 500 subscribers, that will not only unlock the face cam tease thing, but also we can get monetized, and that'll definitely help improve some things as far as the podcast goes. And then you can, I don't know, you can feed EA's or C's cat.
Yeah, exactly. And it could make some what were considered dreams now possible with monetization. So it'll definitely be cool to see where this channel goes once we reach even more people. So to all of you that are here now, you are the OGs, and we'll always remember you.
I may forget. I'm going to be the guy that forgets about the people that put him in, that raised him up. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember you. You're that one guy from that one time. Yeah. Ellie says, can't wait to see who the masterminds behind KOA is. The identity of the mastermind is essential. Oh, so we're a mystery murder plot? I guess we kind of are, since he is dead. I didn't kill him though, I swear.
It wasn't me either. Yeah. It was the one-armed man.
Yes. It was Mukuro Ikosaba, the 16th student lying in wait. Watch out for her. It wasn't me though. But back to Vinland though. I really like Omar's outcome. Some people may believe, not to say that I've seen people say this, but some people may believe that it's kind of unearned, considering that, as Thorfinn said himself, Omar didn't have to suffer for like 15 years for him to realize that, yeah, this war stuff isn't too fun. Maybe I should try a different career path.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't have to suffer tremendously, and a lot of lives were lost because of his insecurities and stupidity. Of course, like his brother said, Canute was probably going to do this anyways. So it really didn't matter what he did, but he still has to take some responsibility for what transpired. It's a big domino effect. But he's living a good life. He's the Fresh Prince of Vinland, or the Fresh Prince of the Farm. He got in one little fight, he got scared, ran back home, and then his life improved tremendously. He got a farm to himself. He got money. He's stacking his paper. He got a nice freckled girlfriend.
Yeah.
He got everything. He got everything that you could want.
Yeah, and you notice he's not too shy about putting in the work now. He actually is there with everyone else, working his ass off. Because before he was like, "Oh, Dad, I don't want to do this work stuff. This is stupid."
He also just looks better. Like, he doesn't have like that ugly mullet thing that he had before.
Yeah. Didn't he like grow a beard? Well, I know he had like a mustache, but then I think he like grew a beard too, and he looks so much better with it.
Yeah, he just looks way better. Like, everything about him is better now.
Yeah,
he still has the weird mustache thing, but cool outcome for him. He realized the error of his ways. I said before, the smart man learns from his mistake. The wise man learns from others' mistakes. He grew to be a wise person, you know?
He really did. He really, really did. And now he's living the good life. Yeah. His dad, on the other hand, isn't. But, I mean, I don't think he cares. And his brother is, I guess, like a lone wolf now. So
he's probably going to do the whole Thorkel thing. He seems like a product of war and violence. Somebody that's just always on the go when it comes to wanting to fight. So I could see him being a Thorkel type of character where he'll be this mercenary fighting for not necessarily who's offering the most money, but who would give him the more interesting battles because he's like war hungry.
So. Yeah, very very interesting stuff. I love how it showed just where everybody ended up at on that farm, and as Thorfinn and Einar and everyone said their goodbyes, we freaking we got a name for Snake. He told him his name.
True.
And I forget what his name is.
It was Raald.
A very easy name to remember.
Son of Grimm.
Yeah, that's that just kind of, I guess, showed you his respect to those two men, because I think he kind of looked down on them because they were slaves, but then once he found out that Thorfinn, he was a slave, and so was Einar and all them, but just because he was a slave doesn't mean that he was better than them, because Thorfinn proved that he was better than all of them in the end.
Yeah, he won everybody over with his, I guess, vulnerable approach when it came to his peace talks. Because we already talked about Canute, but he was taken aback by Thorfinn being able to approach him without any ulterior motives, without any speak a strategy. It's lying in wait in his back pocket. He didn't have anything. He just wanted him to stop, and he did. I mean, it's funny to think about, but he's still like, yeah, I'm still going to do this to some other villages, like to some other farms, but right. I'll let you have your moment, Thorfinn. So
right.
Yeah,
I'll leave this farm alone, but all these other ones, they're mine.
Yeah, they don't have a Thorfinn here, so. So bad things to come with those villages, but we don't care because we're not going to focus on that.
That's right. It's all about Vinland and what's going to happen up there now.
Well, I think what will probably happen now. Well, let me read what QRW6 said first. QRW6 says the manga mentioned what happened to them later. The anime just gave us an interpretation of what was mentioned. It's been so long since I read this, so I don't remember. It's been Vinland was one of those earlier reads for me, so I want to say it's been like probably 5-6 plus years since I read this in the manga. So it's been a while for me. So I don't remember it. But God damn it. I forgot just that quick what I was gonna say. Damn it. Yeah, God damn it. Yeah, QRW says it's fine if you said. Damn it. I forgot what so Leif, this is something I don't see people talk about. Leif completed his goal.
He sure did. He wasn't it? Didn't his dad, and I'm talking about Thor's, promise, like, say, Leif, could you protect my son and get him back home if anything ever happens to me? And he said, I promise.
Yeah.
After all these years, he kept his promise.
Even adopted somebody that quote unquote looks like him.
Was he going to pass that guy off as Thorfinn to his mom?
No, I think he just kind of took pity on him and just decided to adopt him.
Yeah, but yeah, Leif is he's another real one. He kept his promise to Thor's, and wow, I mean that's got to be fulfilling right there, because that was what, 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Long time in the making, but completed his goals.
He sure did. That is insane. That is a long time to keep a promise.
Yeah. So I think Leif's character arc is pretty much complete. I mean, think about everything he's done. He's went on so many exploits. He's the one who gave us the idea of Vinland being a possibility in the first place. Yeah. He's been trying to protect Thorfinn this entire time. Finally completed that goal. He's taken in another person, another Thorfinn, so to speak, Bug Eyes, and he's taking care of him up until his adult years. He's kind of done. Like, there's not much more for him to do. It's not like he has to adventure anymore. He's going to so many different places. He's Leif Erikson, so.
Yep, that was kind of that was the history behind Leif Erikson, was that he traveled the world.
Yeah.
And saw everything. Oh. That's insane. but yeah, he can now rest easy, and I hope nothing happens to him. But if he dies in some weird way, at least he can die knowing that he did the right thing.
I mean, he's old. He was an old man when Thorfinn was a kid, so he's old at this point.
That's true, but still, if Sverkel can still be alive and kicking, so can Leif.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still alive, honestly.
I seriously thought he was going to die when he was bedridden for a while, but they carted his ass out there, and he's still like, oh, we had a deal. That was all.
He's a badass grandpa. He refuses to take credit for everything that happened, every good thing that happened with Thorfinn and Einar. He's just nice old grandpa.
He's basically like an old man Sindura.
Kind of. It wasn't me, Baka.
I can just see that. He's just like, it's not like I like you guys or anything. Giving them horses to help, giving them water, giving them all these other resources to help out. Baka.
Yeah. So QRW6 says Keto went for retirement. Omar took charge and sold some of the land. That's actually an important thing, selling the land, because what was the one thing that was talked about by Thorfinn? He talked about how Kettle's greed was, or I guess we talked about this too, like Kettle's greed was going to be like a downfall. The whole capitalism thing, wanted to own more land was going to be the downfall of him. And yeah, selling some of that land is very important because it shows that he's learned from his father's mistakes to try to, or no, it wasn't. Well, I think Thorfinn did mention it, but it was his father who talked about it. You know, now Omar can just have enough land to provide for his family. And that's all he needs. He doesn't need money in excess. That was the criticism. Despite how Vinland starts, because we kind of talked about this too. You don't really get the real story of Vinland until this season. A lot of what you get in the first season with the Vikings, it looks cool, fights, Vikings, cool stuff. But the story is very anti-war, anti-capitalism. Yukimura is a peace-loving guy, so it shows in scenes like that.
Yeah. Well, don't show this to certain people. Anti-capitalism. They might call this show communist.
What are you teaching kids?
My kid's not gonna watch this Vinland Saga.
It's devil magic. Kettle says Arnhide's name. Still says Arnhide's name. Ugh.
Well, I'm glad they didn't show that. I'd probably hate him even more. I mean, I could just imagine him probably just because he's blind, basically. I could just imagine him just at night. Arnhide. Arnhide. It's like, just die already.
I mean, I like what Thorfinn said in this episode of like his motivation for wanting to create Vinland. Part of it was that he wanted people to be able to go to a place to where even if they knew nothing but hell, they could find salvation in Vinland. And, you know, not to say that, because the Vinland thing has always been in his mind since it was taught to him as a kid. But it's because of what Arnhide went through. Like, her story is integral for like the birth of Vinland, even though like we haven't like cultivated any land or anything like that. The idea was born sort of because of Arnhide and what she went through, all the trauma that she went through, and wanting to find salvation in death. And Thorfinn wanted to go, I want people to know that there's escape. That doesn't involve you dying.
Mm-hmm.
Very important.
Yeah. Such a sad, bittersweet, just really good scene overall. Just that talk about Vinland.
Oh.
Yeah, I really like the show, and I'm so glad I had a chance to watch it way back when. It's not every day you get to see anime shows about, well, just something like this, about Vikings, about adults, about growth, about war, and being a pacifist. It's very unique, and I think I've said this before. I can imagine some studio picking it up, and if they were to be faithful to it, anybody could make this show, and I feel like more audiences should see it. And it's a shame that a lot of people wouldn't, just because it's animated, because I feel like there are those people out there that's weird about animated things.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like anime has become more of a mainstream thing, and
which is great.
Yeah. So a lot of those things of, I'm not watching it because it's anime and it's for kids, like that's starting to slowly phase out. Also, just because like there's going to be generations that are like born into anime being as popular as it is now. You know, the days of it being some obscure thing is kind of behind us now.
Yeah, I definitely see that. It's I don't know, it's crazy to think because I always say this to my son. I say, if I had the same like chances with anime that you do now at your age, it would have been the total opposite because, you know, anime is just something that when I grew up, I never told anybody I was into, other than if I knew, like if they wore a certain shirt or if they had something on their backpack, I'd be like, you into Dragon Ball Z? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you're my friend. Just one of those things. It was never something that you could just walk to school and you just see dozens of people just wearing a shirt or reading a manga, or you even see it on walls now. It's just like, oh, we're living in the great timeline now.
Yeah, it wasn't something that you paraded around.
No, in fact, I feel like you got made fun of a lot because of that.
Yep. I didn't read what QRW6 said with Thorgal. Thorgal walked away, and no one still don't know what happened to him later. Circle couldn't farm anymore, so Snake works his land. Good on Snake, finally putting in some work.
Yep, paying it forward.
But still like it was Pater they used to conclude the arc. Yeah. And then he talked about like how he was a person who endured a lot, because he did it the hard way of actually staying in servitude and working his way out of it, which kind of what I like about the show is that they don't tell you that like that's necessarily the right thing. It's just that what he did. There's different aspects of how everybody was affected by slavery. Like, you know, Thorfinn and Einar were able to work out of it. Of course, Thorfinn was in it longer than Einar, but Pater worked his whole life out of it, basically. And then Arnheid was completely destroyed by it. And we already seen what happened with her husband, who was changed because of it.
Yeah. Yeah, we had so many different, like, character types to come from it. From this whole setting, you know. Thorfinn being the most huge and very different from when we first saw him. Like, I never would have assumed from season 1 Thorfinn that we would have gotten to where he is now, season 2, and just completely a pacifist and very humble too. You know, just I never would have guessed it. I would have imagined exactly what he was at the beginning of season 2, but then yeah, it's night and day.
Thinking about that on that note, because I was thinking in my mind, like, Thorfinn really is probably the best boy this season. Thinking about how we're going to do the awards coming up, because that should be in, 2 weeks, I believe?
I think so, because I think there's some shows that are ending next week, so we got to do that pretty soon.
Yeah, because Vinland is ending next week. Oshi No Ko, I think, is ending next week. Megumin anime is probably going to end next week.
Demon Slayer's ending next week.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. So everything's ending except for Insomniacs. Insomniacs is going to have 2 more episodes because it's 13.
Oh, I think Oshi No Ko has a couple more. So it's going to be Megumin, Demon Slayer, and Vinland Saga. So
I thought Oshi No Ko was 11 episodes this season.
Wait. Oh.
Let me check.
Yeah,
it's 11 episodes.
Okay. Well, okay, so we saw 8 and 9 then. So that leaves 10 and 11.
Okay, so yeah, 2 more episodes. So
okay.
2 more episodes of Oshi No Ko and 3 more episodes of Insomniacs.
Okay.
So yeah. And then next week we won't talk about Oshi No Ko because we'll be I'm assuming we'll be doing this on Monday. So Monday we won't talk about Oshi No Ko or the Megumin anime because
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, we already talked about the latest episodes here. So Monday we'll just have Insomniacs, Demon Slayer, and the last episode of Vinland to talk about. So 3-episode podcast should be a lot shorter.
I mean, we say that. I feel like we always say that, but then for some reason we always end up with a 3-hour podcast.
Yeah, and the thing is, this could have. We aren't at 3 hours right now, but this could have easily been 3 hours if we did viewers' questions. I don't know. I talk a lot.
It's all right. I look at it as it's something that we're passionate about, and if you like something, you're going to talk about it a lot more.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm not as good as C when it comes to moving things along. So we ramble a lot. That's what you kind of get when C is not here.
Yeah.
So
yeah, C is more like the ringleader, and we're kind of like the lions and the elephants, and he's like, whoosh, all right, get over there, whoosh, over there. Whoosh.
I mean, he does want Arnhide to slave away to make his grave. So
Oh my god,
that's his thing.
Yep, he loves Arnhide crawling crawling to him, going, here's your crave, master.
An evil man. An evil man. But I think that's it with Vinland. Great episode. It's my anime of the year. I don't think it's changing, honestly. It's what I look forward to the most, other than Insomniacs, but I still don't think Insomniacs is as good as Vinland. But outro. EA, where can they find you?
It makes me laugh every time I see that X across C. Okay, you can find me at Everything Animated, my YouTube channel. Guess what? It meets the threshold. I have over 500 subscribers.
Woo.
But I just don't have the viewing hours.
Yeah.
Wah, wah,
Yeah, you could definitely get that with a couple of videos out, and especially if one just happens to blow up, that's really all it would take.
Yep, and I'm now that I'm moved and everything else, I feel like I can get back into making videos again. And also, for all of y'all that don't know, since we got a good amount of people watching, maybe on the replay and whatnot, Rent a Girlfriend Season 3 is coming back.
Oh, God.
I don't know if I'm going to do it episodically like I did in the past. Maybe I can turn it into for my sanity and everyone else's sanity, just maybe do it like in thirds or in fourths or something like that, and just be like, here's a run through, here's episodes 1 through 4, and here's 5 through 8 or something. I know Rising said he's down to do it. See, he said he was 50-50 on that, but now that he's kind of taking a break, maybe he'll take a break on that as well. But we'll see. I just like doing it just because I like to trash on Rent a Girlfriend, because Rent a Girlfriend is basically everything that's wrong with anime. I mean, there's no other nice way to put it. It really is. It's just really bad. But if you're curious about seasons 1 and 2, it's currently on my channel now. So please subscribe now if you want to see that. And I also will do other things on my channel here coming up. Some things that I've always wanted to do, but just never had time for. Will do. And I have a Twitter that I post, not regularly, but every once in a while on, and Twitch. Maybe thinking about doing that and bringing that back, because the last thing I did, believe it or not, Sasuke, was almost 2 years ago when I did Doki Doki.
Oh my God, it's been that long since. Damn.
I remember because, well, first I found the videos, and then I remembered because it was like 4th of July and fireworks were going out, and I was like, oh my God, that was 2 years ago. That's insane. And yep, I have those videos. Maybe I'll upload those to my channel.
God. I want to see you play another visual novel. I want to get you on Danganronpa, but it's a little long. At least the first game.
That is so long. I don't know if I could. This would probably be me by the end.
Well, okay.
I quit.
Here's the thing, EA, because you don't have to do it the way I did it. For one, the first games are shorter than the other ones. V3 is really long, but you could do it to where, kind of like how I uploaded my videos. You could do it to where you start and end the video at, like, because it's like murder, investigation, trial. You could do it that way, and I think you won't be going at it for as long. You know, kind of go at your own pace. I don't know. It'll be entertaining to watch you to play Danganronpa, like a murder mystery type of game. It's really fun.
Okay, I'll definitely have to look into that one as a possibility for my Twitch comeback.
A lot of different things you could do, but I'm looking forward to the Rent a Girlfriend one. I don't watch a lot of YouTube content, honestly, but at least anime content. But those I would ask the guys, when are you guys doing an episode? At me when you do it, because those are entertaining. And I haven't even watched a lick, or actually I have. I watched 8 minutes of Rent a Girlfriend, and that's it. I dropped it after that. But those podcasts are funny, so yeah. Subscribe to EA. You want to see that type of content. Is it on your channel?
It is on my channel.
Okay.
Both seasons are on my channel.
Okay. You also have the Bunny Girl one, or was that C?
Oh no, I guess I have that too. I had the Love Live Nijigasaki until Bandai wanted to strike me for some reason, so I got rid of that. But yeah, I have the Bunny Girl Senpai. I forgot that they're doing another movie. God, that means I might have to watch another. I might have to watch another movie for the show or for the channel.
Unfortunately, they got the first season Nijigasaki, because that's when we actually liked it.
Yeah, I know. I really liked it too. But hey, we got part of the second season on your channel.
Yeah. Everything up until like the last episode. I think that was the other last thing we didn't cover.
We still haven't seen it.
Just it wasn't good. They ruined it. But as for me, you can find me on the channels listed there. My main channel, Sasuke the Savage, as well as my Twitter, Sasuke the Savage with a DA. My Twitch, Sasuke the Savage, same name as my Twitter. As well as my gaming channel, Sasuke the Gamer, where I upload my VODs to Twitch streams. With that, I cut, edit it, make it more concise and a lot more fun. Right now, I'm uploading my Ace Attorney vids, because I finished with all Danganronpa. 2 I didn't get to upload because of my issues with my external hard drive, but that's been pretty fun. On the Twitch, I'm uploading content from Ace Attorney and also still streaming Ace Attorney stuff, as well as Persona 5 currently. Persona 5 Royal, which having a lot of fun with that game. Did a lot of off-screen training. So when I come back, things are going to look a little, it's going to look like I came out the hyperbolic chamber. But that is about it for tonight's podcast. Anybody who wants to ask us questions, look in the description for the link to submit questions. Do that. Also like and subscribe. Still trying to get to 500 subscribers for monetization, as well as the face cams. And yeah, thank you for watching. KOA out. Johnny.
Later.